Hey guys, are we recording?
We are live. We're recording.
Okay, perfect. One more, just give me one more second.
Okay, no problem.
I was fully ready and I wasn't. Okay, now I'm fully ready. Okay. All right, guys. So thanks for hopping on with us tonight. I'm pretty excited to interview one of our favorite champs. Ash and I fell in love with you from the first time we met you. Amber Valencia, her last name's super sexy, and she's amazing. She's a pre-K special ed teacher and a mama of a toddler. The cutest little girl you will ever see, ever. If you ever have a chance to creep her Facebook page, you can like all of her adorable dancing videos. She was, so 1 year ago, and she's going to share this with you. So 1 year ago, whoops, I think I got some background. You got it? Cool. So 1 year ago, things looked pretty different.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
A little bit about that.
I'm getting some feedback. Okay, good. So thank you, Kendra. You're so sweet, and you made me blush. Yeah, my little Sophia. We just got home from toddler gymnastics. But so a year ago, I've been using ketones for almost exactly a year. I can tell you the first day
Heather's saying I can't hear. Can anyone else? I can hear you okay. Can anyone else hear or not hear? Okay, Heather White says you can hear Ashley. So Heather Tucker, it might be you. Because everyone else can hear. Okay.
Okay. So I can remember to the day, I think it was like April 7th. And what had me looking for ketones, I was postpartum. I had an 8-month-old. I stayed home for 12 weeks. I was blessed enough to be able to do that, but I went back to work. And not only did I go back to work, I went back to teaching special education preschool. And it's super intense and super emotional and physically demanding and emotionally draining and heartbreaking at times. And I was exhausted. I was breastfeeding. And like, you know, all of us, we have so many layers to our stories, and mine included years ago addictions with food and sugar addictions and binge eating, and I had gotten a lot of that under control when I was pregnant or before I was pregnant. So I had a super healthy pregnancy, like had my baby, came back, lost all my pregnancy weight, and then I was faced with like new motherhood and sugar addiction and sleepless nights and reaching for sugar. So I was like in this really vicious cycle of being exhausted and trying my hardest to eat well because I wanted, you know, I gained weight after I had baby, which is usually not the case for people. People usually lose weight. So it was a really big struggle for me. And I remember being in my classroom pumping and like being rummaging through my cabinets looking for junk and sugar and like binging. I was binge eating bad. And then on the other side of this, I was trying to out train what I was like sabotaging my results with bad nutrition. And I felt like crap, and like it just wasn't a good time for me. And trying to work out 7 days a week and be religious with that and follow a program and like set fitness records, I think I was trying to prove something. I was exhausted, and I took my first little packet of ketones. I took half of a caffeine free because I was breastfeeding and I was super, you know, like what I'm, you know, really like every mom, like I need to be really careful what I put in my body. And it lit me up. Like I remember I took my half packet, it was 4 o'clock, and I worked out and I was like, this is amazing. And I ate a healthy dinner, and like the rest was history for me. So what it has done for me is really so like from a health perspective and from someone who's been like had a lifelong struggle with food and addictive food behaviors and binging and sugars, is I feel finally like for the first time in my life, I'm free of that really powerful, vicious cycle of food addiction. And like for those of you that have been through that, and I think everyone experiences that because food is addictive, like it's so freeing. And with that, like my ups and downs with like energy, like having to eat every 2 hours or feeling like I was gonna die, like my body like has shifted. And you know, even like when I'm at work or like being a mom, like on the other end of this spectrum too is, you know, with the nutrition, like I'm eating better, I feel better with ketones, and I have energy to give like my little 25 humans that I teach all day and love on all day, and I still have energy to give my own little person, because I'm, you know, as a mom who works, and then I also have a business, like you feel guilty. I know so many moms who feel guilty, like they're in a classroom and they give other people's kids their everything, and then they can't give their family what they need. And I feel like ketones have done that for me, and ketones have opened a door where like I just understand so much more about my body, and I'm so much healthier, and my family eats healthier. So they've, like, the product itself, the ketones have just opened this whole other door for me, and have really trickled down to every aspect of my life, from you know, the way I teach, the way I parent, the way I eat, everything. So that was kind of long-winded, but that's one layer of it.
No, it wasn't long-winded at all. I think that's something that's so important for people to realize. And I had that same, it's funny, it's like when you shared, I was like, oh yeah, me too. Like, I think so many people silently suffer with food addiction and use it to, you know, cover up things, and people don't talk about it. Like, it, you know, people who aren't extremely obese, like there's still people battling food addiction. And so it's so cool when you use the word free. I think that's super important to point out, because like when you have freedom from that, it allows you freedom to be present in other areas of your life. So
For sure. And just having to like micromanage food. Just eat when I'm hungry, and stop when I'm not.
Yeah, and not be obsessively thinking about when the next time you're going to eat, what you're going to eat, what you should or shouldn't eat. Like, that was a prison that I lived in for 30 years, you know, ever since I can remember making my own food choices, it was like that for me too. So I think a lot of women can really relate to that, and probably men too. So I was going to ask you what has Keto OS and Keto Max done for you, but we've kind of talked about that, which is awesome. So let me ask you this. So we know that, you know, Keto Max and Keto OS has given you the ability to, you know, be present for Sophia and give all that energy to her and all that energy to your students, and be, you know, free from your food addictions and live the healthy way that you wanted to. So what has the PreK community done for you? How has that changed things for you?
It's changed a lot for me. I think just being part of a community that, first of all, okay, so I am an independent promoter with the company, so there's the business side of it. Like, the business side has completely opened up new doors for my family, and I actually just put in for part-time next year. So that's huge. That's a really big thing, because everyone knows, like, as a mother, like, your heartstrings, you want to be with your family. So that has opened doors there. And my eventual goal is to not work, but I still have like that calling to do my job, and I have that commitment to my job. So there's that. And I think just, you know, being part of a community that is really just focusing, because I have a background in the health and fitness realm, and there was a really large emphasis on body and working out and eating for physique and not for health. And what I found with the PreK community is that it is about health. It is about fueling your body for better, for being a better person, not for the number on the scale. So I'm proud to say I don't weigh myself. I don't measure myself. I'm probably a little, like I'm smaller, I'm shrinking, but I'm fluffier because those things are important to me because I'm doing what I need to do for health. So I think that for like from a standpoint of being part of like a movement that is about health versus um, physical appearances is like life changing for myself and so many people. And again, it's like freeing up time in my life and freedom in my life to not worry about those things. So I think that's huge. Our company leads with education and the community and the support, and we're just about like being a better human being, emotionally, physically, spiritually, just all encompassing. And I think that that has really been huge for me and my family. So there's a lot, like I could just go on and on, but it's huge to just have the emphasis be on well-being.
Amber, you're gonna make me cry. Like literally, no one has ever put that better than how you just did. Am I breaking up? Can you hear me?
No, and I mean, just to give you guys some perspective, like I used to measure myself with the measuring tape AM, PM, and weigh myself, and I would tie my worth to that. And it was a dangerous place to be, especially given the fact that I had been obese before and I had.
It's with all the rest of my.
Oh, we got a little. So, yeah, it's huge. It's huge. And then, you know, to be able to say I want to work part time next year, that's huge. That's huge. So,
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like I don't. Can you hear me? Okay. Okay. Yeah. Like to put it that way, like to go from being obsessive about your weight and how you look and all of that to have that freedom, like you said, like you're shrinking, but you're just like happy and you have that freedom to be with your daughter and be who you are and not be obsessed with, you know, the physique of the health and wellness side, but the actual health and wellness side. Like it's cool you bring up things I haven't even really thought about. So awesome. So we're going to stop the recording